Bring out your potential. The rich continue to be rich, and the poor continue to be poor. Let's take a look at one of the results of a survey conducted on 3,800 adult men and women nationwide. About 5.7% answered very yes confidently to the question, do you think you will be able to become rich someday in your life? Only about 5 out of 100 answered that they think you can become rich on your own. Only 15.7% answered a little bit yes. About 80% of people thought they were not rich and could not become rich in the future. More than 80% of people I have experienced while meeting countless people, including family members, relatives, acquaintances, and coworkers. In a nutshell, most of them did not even think about becoming rich at all. People were not interested in words such as success, richness, mindset, unconsciousness, and motivation. There were even many people who hated it beyond just being interested. Do you ever limit yourself that you want to be rich, but you can't be rich? If so, I believe it would be very helpful if you watched this video today. When I understand what someone is currently interested in, I check his YouTube feed. This is because sophisticated algorithms based on big data show the person's current interests as they are. Surprisingly, it was found that more than 8 out of 10 people did not see any videos related to success, rich, unconscious, or mindset on their feeds. If you can't believe it, you should check the feeds of people around you. 80 of people just enjoy games, webtoons, and social media. Of course, there are no people who don't know the importance of money in the capitalist system. So 80 of them often say things about money. Oh, money. It's good to have a lot. I really want someone to give me just 100 million won. I want to resign. I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. But this is not the thought to be rich. Why on earth don't people decide to get rich or think about how to get rich? The unconscious has an answer. This is because their unconscious perceives themselves as a completely different class. They expect that their current work will do better, so that they can get a salary increase or even a bonus. Of course, they are also very aware that they cannot become rich with that. They have already concluded that they cannot become rich in this life, even if they consider all the current circumstances. So they do not want to think about how to become rich. Success is usually achieved by a small number of people. This is natural. If everyone succeeds, the word success will have little meaning. Success is something that very few people can enjoy. So many people envy so much. Interestingly, only about 5 of people are trying to do something. This is not limited to getting rich. In almost all areas of life, only 5 think and decide to do something, and then finally do it. Dale Carnegie said this in his book, The Theory of Self-Management. It is not difficult to teach 20 people what they have to do, but it is difficult to make even one of them put their teaching into practice. Only 1 out of 20, or only 5, is turning their teachings into action. If you're determined to become rich and you're doing anything for it, you're in a completely different league from most people. I call this league the Rich League. Currently, the rich do not belong to the Rich League. If you're thinking about wealth and success, and you're determined to be, and you're acting for it, you already belong to the Rich League. Many of the results we've seen earlier prove this. Rich people in this league are born, and 0.1 of them are reborn as billionaires or ridiculous. Even if I say this, does it feel like I'm not in the Rich League myself? Compared to the majority of people, I really want to say that you've already achieved overwhelming wealth and success, or that you have no choice but to achieve it in the future. I was saying that you succeed with a very high probability in reading this book. Now you are standing at the entrance of the road to the Rich League. Stand on the road and think about it. Everything in the world starts with thinking. You have to think to feel your emotions, and those emotions lead to actions. And those actions have consequences. What are you thinking now? What are you most focused on among them? That is your reality. You are already not ordinary, determined to focus on the work of becoming rich. You are the minority. If you're an office worker, everyone around you acts as a cartographer to each other. When someone says that it's best to retire after living a good work-life balance, someone next to you nods that it's true. Your coworkers and you make it true in your own world. Everyone lives inside a fence consisting of me and people around them. And it's difficult to get out of it unless there's a huge opportunity. Changing your surroundings is not easy, but there is a way. It's a kind of guaranteed method that countless people, including myself, have actually tried and succeeded. It's surrounding you with the authors of the book. You don't have to think of only those who physically exist around you as people around you. The authors can't have a delicious dinner with you on Friday, or have a casual conversation over an iced Americano at a cafe on a weekend afternoon. But there are also good things. It's much harder than you think to find about 5 people who are physically around you who you want to be your life mentor and can raise the average of your people. On the other hand, 50 authors can easily find and put them next to you, not 5. If you want to meet people who are physically present, you must make an appointment in advance. If something happens, you may have to postpone your appointment. However, the authors of the book are different. If you want to talk to them and learn something, they will always be with you throughout your life. Everyone lives in the same world. Don't be mistaken. In the aftermath of the global recession, the recession continues again this year. The persistent economic downturn and murderous inflation have left ordinary people suffering from double whammy. As the long-term recession continues, yes, we are always living in a recession. Is there something wrong with it? These are decades of recession. But someone has achieved economic independence, succeeded in investing, and built a business. There have always been people who have grown and succeeded in any situation. Your world was in a recession, but their world was completely different. Even at this moment, someone is making a life in a world that is completely different from you. What kind of world do you live in right now, and what kind of world do you want to live in? If you want to create a world different from what it is now, you have to change the people around you. And you have to erase the poor program that is located in your unconscious through constant repetition. I didn't even realize that there was a limit set in my unconsciousness. If there is a limit, it is literally impossible to go above a certain level. So of course, it is impossible to achieve a change in life. The middle class is only able to stay in the middle class, and the poor think for themselves. Only enough to stay in the poor and exercise only that level of ability. Have you ever heard of flea experiments in vials? Fleas can generally jump 100 times the size of their bodies. But try putting the flea in a glass jar, and then closing it with a clear glass lid. The flea that was jumping hits the glass lid. After hitting it a few more times, the flea, which continues to hit it, only jumps to the point where it does not touch the lid. What is interesting is that even after the lid is removed, the flea still jumps to that height. The flea has trapped itself in a glass bottle. This is the self-limit setting that sets its own limits. Fleas born in those vials will live their entire lives without even knowing that they have the ability to jump 100 times their original body size. Don't you have a self-limit like that flea? You want to change your life. You want more wealth to do this, don't you? That's why I'm reading this book. So now let's pay attention to the word potent. important means human potential. Here, potential is the power of the unconscious. This enormous power that is hidden is inherent in our unconsciousness. Are there people with exceptionally good potential? Absolutely not. The answer is to the words, potent burst or potent. Did not burst that we commonly use in our daily lives. The expression itself, that the potential has or has not exploded, means that it is already there inside, with only the difference that the potential has or has not been expressed. Everyone has it, so of course, they also have the power to achieve what they want. Why do most people have a hard time popping the potent once in their lifetime? Many authors and scholars stress that 95% of everyday life is controlled by the unconscious. Of the approximately 50,000 thoughts that humans think of in a day, 47,500 or 95 are out of your conscious control. When I was an office worker in the past, I came to work early in the morning and was working when I suddenly realized that I didn't turn off the electric pad. No matter how much I think about whether my memory was wrong, I couldn't remember turning off the electric pad. No matter how much I woke up and remembered what I had done before I went to work, I had no choice but to feel despondent every time when I went home after leaving work early in a hurry. This is because the electric pad was well turned off without a single exception. There are numerous examples. Of course, most people visit their homes when they drink too much, and the film is cut off. Even the 8-digit door lock password is pressed without getting it wrong. Do you always think about how to get there or which way to go while commuting? No. I literally just go on my daily commute. How is this possible? It's because you didn't do it. To be precise, it's because you didn't do it consciously. Your unconscious or subconscious did it. So how can we change our unconscious mind? The only way to the unconscious is in the consciousness. You can enter the unconscious world only through consciousness. This means that in order to change your unconsciousness, you have to consciously do certain actions. According to Carl Jung, if you don't make consciousness conscious, life goes as it is. We call this fate. The method of consciousness of the unconscious involves all actions of saying out loud what you desperately want, writing it down with your hands, imagining it in your head and visualizing it. Our unconsciousness doesn't work with just one press. You have to repeat it as if you're making a habit. You've heard the phrase, fake yourself until you achieve something at least once. What does this mean? Keep telling your unconscious consciously that you already achieved your much-desired goal. Imagine engraving letters with stainless steel chopsticks on a cement wall. At one time, there is no trace left. However, if you continue to do this every day, the writing will gradually begin to appear blurred on the wall, and at some point, clear and clear writing will be firmly engraved. The same is true when you engrave your goals in the unconscious. This is how you visualize your unconscious. Your writing is never erased again. Through this repetition, you can install software of wealth and success in the unconscious once and for all. From then on, you don't have to struggle. Your unconscious will guide you to the destination of success. Did you enjoy it? Those who want to become rich can imprint on their unconscious mind to make it possible. Our unconscious mind has software installed as usual, so it's important to get out of it. There will never be a sudden potent popping up one day when you haven't done anything. I hope you can only do it by installing great software in your unconscious mind, and that your potential will finally come out. For those of you who watched this video, today will be a better day than yesterday. Subscriptions and likes are a big boost to video production. I support you to develop your passion in your heart.